Hello everyone. So I'm going to show you how this Kagent framework works. I'm very excited about this Kagent framework since it came out from in this year in KubeCon London. So I changed a little bit the instruction, so it's a little bit easier. So it's just now it comes with a make file and it's all in the README file. So the instructions that you see in this video might be a little bit different from the version that I open sourced, as this was a demo for an eternal awesome DevX Days conference. However, it's about the same functionality, and it's just basically deploying Kagent with ArgoCD. ArgoCD to me is the production grade, state of the art technology for doing Kubernetes. So I decided if I wanted to let's say bring this closer to an enterprise grade version, this was a good bet, and this is also for learning purposes. So if you're new to ArgoCD, this can help you learn this technology. So ArgoCD, as you can see here, is being used, and each one of these ArgoCD applications is connected to a specific declared configuration living inside of a Git repository, and then everything is synced. And here we can see how I'm creating an agent. It's pretty straightforward. You can, of course, everything is running in Kubernetes in a container, so Kind cluster. So, but it's like a tiny little sandbox where you can learn also Kubernetes. So the only thing you have to do is essentially use the MCP tool that you have declared. The MCP tool that I'm using here is the one that I declared in the GitOps repo. So everything is declarative. So here I'm creating an agent. For the purposes of this demo, I'm using OpenAI, but you can bring your own OpenAI compatible model and essentially leverage Kagent. A Kagent comes with a lot of things. As you can see, you can play around with like DevOps. I think I heard today my colleague say Mueller. And essentially you can ask the cluster what is wrong with the cluster, what is happening, like I'm doing here. Well, sorry, before doing that, I am first testing that I'm actually calling my MCP tool that I have created inside of Kubernetes. So here you can see, I'm just showing here the pods, and I'm going to actually try to copy the name of the pod just to see the logs live, because I don't want you to feel like this is some trick. And I'm using Stern just to log everything, and this is what I'm doing. Okay, so as you can see, there are some logs here, and what I will do now, even though the screen is a little bit small and the UI is not great for what I'm about to do, but you can see that I am actually running this MCP server, so it's not a trick. And it's a nice way because you can keep everything inside of Kubernetes. You can use Olama serve to run. If you have a big enough server with a big enough GPU, you can run like nice LLMs inside Kubernetes. Then of course you can ask Kubernetes. You can create your own agent with your own tools, which is the demo that I'm showing right now. And I think the first time I asked something that wasn't very relevant to the tool, so it didn't use it. But then I am using something a little bit more like forcing the tool to be used. And you can see that it's like actually being used. It's a SQLite. It's just a bunch of embeddings from a MCP website. This is just what this agent is doing. This tool is basically using this agentic tools to simply search for. It's like a knowledge-based search, but you can do whatever you want. It's with your MCP servers. And right now I'm showing that this is actually DevOps. So I'm going to essentially try to use a tag of my MCP server that doesn't exist. ArgoCD automatically will pick this change up, but because this is a demo, I will just speed it up. You can see it here. There you go. Okay. And what I will end up happening is that I actually break the Kubernetes, the MCP deployment. So, and what I will do now is use another one of the agents that comes from within this framework, the Kagent framework, and just ask it like if there is any problem right now. And you can see I basically made the pod go unhealthy by trying to pull an image that doesn't exist. So I'm asking him like in natural language, like what's going on with my cluster today, and it's gonna tell me the answer. No, like, oh, there's an issue with this pod. And if you're new to Kubernetes, this can actually really help you. You can let your imagination go wild and let the agent do even more stuff, like create pods for you and deployments. I don't think that this is in my opinion, like the best way you can use this tool. I think that you can use it for essentially asking it about like kind of get, not like write, but more like read, no? So yeah, you can see now I'm pushing again. I'm fixing the image, and I am going to ask it again if there's any problem. I think I can just like refresh just to make sure, like like ArgoCD automatically will consolidate. It will check if there's any changes in the Git repo, and then it will just apply the changes. But just to kind of like do it a bit faster, you can refresh, which is what I just did. And then with this, I can go back to the agent and ask it if there's anything wrong in the cluster. And I think that because the context window still like has the information about maybe this issue with the pod, it might be better to just like yeah, you can refresh it, close it, like it's still or just make sure that your query is smart enough that it knows that it has to use again their tools. In this case, the tool is like using kubectl commands. So that's it. I mean, the purpose of this, Kagent offers an enterprise version, and of course, what I wanted to do is just try to and you can just use their CLI tool to install everything with one command. However, it's always nicer to have it in ArgoCD declaratively, have exactly which version you're running. So here you can see that I'm asking it again, like, hey, is there any problems now? And it actually found some other smaller stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit about this. Hope you like it.